Hi, hello, this is Casterisk, and welcome back to Koppai Podcast, episode 55. I didn't do my what's up, everybody! Welcome back to Koppai Podcast, episode 55. I am joined by Mr. Koppai himself, Zach Risk.
How's it going, Koppai Nation? It's been a while.
It's been so long. It's been 3,000 years since I last saw this Pokemon. Oh, man. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Amazing. Incredible. Fabulous.
Freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Ooh! Sorry for our absence, Koppai Nation. We've had a busy couple weeks. In case you don't know, Zach and I are both currently college students, and we got some finals stuff coming up. It was the Easter weekend. I had some family in town. It's just been a heck of a ride the past couple weeks, and actually this weekend's pretty busy too for both of us, but we had to give the people what they wanted. Shout out to Noah Kinney. He was commenting on every single video that we had saying, "Where are you guys? I need to find you." And so we're back, and we're going to be giving our thoughts on the Nintendo April Direct today. And so even though the Direct happened a little bit ago, we haven't had a chance to share our thoughts on it. And so we're going to be sharing our thoughts on it because most of the games haven't even come out yet that were talked about. I think there's only I actually don't even know if they had a game that they were talking about that came out, because they didn't really talk about, Mr. Shifty and Mario Kart and all of that. It was more so focused on the summer. So
yeah,
lots of stuff to talk about that's still completely relevant and worth digging into. But first and foremost, Zach, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Graceful Explosion Machine.
Ow! A little bit of that gem?
Yeah. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I've been kind of taking a slight break, I guess, from Zelda, almost just because of the way that school's been so hectic for the past couple weeks, that when I get the brief moment to sit down, a couple times I picked up and done a block of Zelda. I'm at a point in that game where it's like I'm about to go do another dungeon, and so I really need to focus, and when I go and take that on, I kind of just want to have more time freed up. So for those quick little short bursts of playing a game, like Graceful Explosion Machine has just been awesome, and I've been addicted to that pull of beating initially your high score, and then you came in and beat my high score, and now I've been trying to
I
go
beat
back
all of
and,
your high scores, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was because there was that the game is so awesome in that you can learn new ways to string together combos, and when I first played, for example, I wasn't keeping my combos chained enough at all, and so I was like, how are you getting these insane scores? And then I figured it out and was keeping it, then it would go through the whole level without getting hit and keeping my chain through the whole thing. And then I was figuring out other subtle ways to get my
switching up weapons and grabbing little orbs and things like that really help out.
And so it's addicting. I just keep going back, and I'm getting so close. A few of those, I'm seriously just a couple thousand points away. It's kind of like when Sonic Lost World first came out, and we were doing that kind of speed running, so those first few levels and stuff. But that game has been pretty much what I've been playing, and a little bit of Zelda, of course. I'm still not towards the end of that game. I'm don't want to really say too much, but I'm still working on Zelda.
No, we won't be talking about Zelda. We're pretty far off from our spoiler cast on that, if we ever even do a spoiler cast and talk about Zelda. At this point, if you've played Zelda, you know why it's amazing. We don't need to tell you that, and if you haven't played Zelda, then we don't need to tell you why it's amazing, because you need to go play it for yourself. And so there's never really a good time or place to talk about Zelda unless you're just kind of talking with your friends. And there's so much other news to talk about. For example, Noah Kinney, shout out in the chat. He says, I've been hearing rumors about a possible Switch Mini or a Switch XL. I don't think they'll do it, but do you think they will? There's also rumors of an SNES Classic coming out. We'll have to talk about rumors and all the kind of latest news next week, since this week we're focusing on the April Direct. But yeah, there's just so much news now with the Switch being a thing. With the NX finally being out, there's so much news that we can't.
I think we could briefly touch on those. At least the SNES Mini. I would not be surprised if we get that. It seems they did their whole limited run of the NES Mini, and they did it as promised. It's going out. A lot of people are upset about that, and so I think that it makes sense that they have some sort of timeline figured out in terms of
Yeah.
releasing these things.
They
Now,
don't want to have an NES, an SNES, an N64, like all these classics,
out
like
at
a
the
whole
same
shelf of
time.
classics. They want
Um,
that real estate
but they
for
can do it with what the thing is. I don't know if people checked out the article. I forget the source, but there was an excellent article out on one of these gaming websites about how the NES Mini was
Kotaku.
actually a brilliant move, and how it was primarily the focus of it was to get Nintendo on the minds of the consumers, and that it really
Mm-hmm.
worked, even though they didn't really meet the demand. And so I think that these mini machines kind of work really well to just kind of pull out of a hat whenever they want to
Yeah.
reinvigorate some interest in Nintendo. It's the same with kind of the mobile titles, and I think their kind of strategy with those is to
Yeah, and people are,
stagger those releases.
I mean, it's always nice to sell more, but I mean, Nintendo sold what they wanted to sell. Otherwise, they wouldn't have stopped making it. Like they hit their mark, and for better or for worse, it's done. But
It's
yeah, I
insane,
do
yeah.
think the SNES Mini is coming out. As far as a Switch Mini or Classic, as far as a Switch Mini or Switch XL, I haven't really been reading up on the rumors of that. I just saw some mock-ups. I thought someone just made for fun, but maybe they have some weight to them. What I was saying with all that, though, like with Noah Kinney's comment and just the fact that there's these rumors and all that, is I just don't really know if there's going to be a time in the upcoming weeks to stop and just have a whole episode dedicated to Zelda, because this week we have the Direct. Next week we're going to have
Mm.
some of the rumors to address, and then we're going to get to the territory of like, Minecraft Switch, ARMS, Street Fighter, Splatoon 2, E3, all these things coming out. And so,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you've been playing lots of Zelda. I've been kind of poking back into Zelda as well. As I said the last time we recorded,
You got your
I kind
Switch
of got
back.
to I got my Switch back. Yeah, last time we recorded, I was sending my Switch out and was kind of at a good stopping place in Zelda where I was kind of feeling comfortable with them, maybe possibly wiping all of my save data. Turns out they didn't. They kept my save data. They only changed out the part, even kept the screen protector on, which I thought was interesting. Like they didn't mess with anything that they didn't need to. I sent it in, I believe, 2 Tuesdays ago, and packaged it up nice. Put it, I think, just in some, like those brown packages that you get like from Amazon, like those little Amazon kind of sleeves. I put it in one of those,
Mm.
and then taped the games to the package. But the games were inside a little Ziploc. I had to send in Zelda and 1-2 Switch as well because my game cartridge was broke. My cartridge slot was broke and was scratching up the cards, and they didn't give me like any update for a week. I saw these people posting like emails and letters they would get from Nintendo saying like, we got to keep your save data, or we have to wipe your save data, or whatever the case may be. And I never got any update until they were like, okay, it's been shipped back. And I'm like, whoa, it's shipped back. What did you fix? What did you do? Did you wipe anything? What do I need to know?
Mm-hmm.
And I called up Nintendo and was like, hey, can I get like do you have any sort of report on my Switch coming back? And they're like, oh, yep. We switched out the game card slot. And I'm like, did you change the games? The games got broke too. And is it the same unit? And like, it looks like it's the same serial number, but we don't know if they wiped any of the save data. And I'm like, you guys know nothing. And so I called the repair company in Chatsworth, California. It's like something like with an M, like it's not actually Nintendo. It's some sort of separate like mobile hardware repair shop. And isn't even officially tied to Nintendo, it looks like. And I called them, and they're like, yeah, what was your number? And I said it, and they're like, oh yeah, we just did that one, sent it out earlier today. Yeah, we gave you a couple new games, not like new games, like free games, but we replaced your games. Looks like we didn't need to wipe any of the data, just switched out the parts. So yeah, that should be coming back to you tomorrow. And then I got it. They did overnight shipping, so I got it the next day, and everything is as good as new. I had to download. Actually, no, I didn't have to download anything. At first, it said I need to download stuff because I didn't put my SD card back in there. But once I put that back in,
yeah.
it was all as good as new.
That's insane.
I thought it was also going to be nice to say we always start off the show with what we've been playing. I'm going to go through here just real quick, rapid fire,
Okay.
to sum up what I've been playing. I have my Switch actually on my desk here, and so I'm just going to say what I've played of each game so you can know my times. Maybe some of the audience can know what games I've invested a lot of time in and what games I haven't. And so, Super Bomberman R, Snipper Clips, Human Resource Machine, Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth Plus, Blaster Master Zero, Shovel Knight, Fast RMX, World of Goo, and Snake Pass, and Graceful Explosion Machine, I've all played for just a few minutes. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I've played for 45 hours or more. So there's that. Those are
So
my numbers.
that's the only one that's registered on the scale of
Yeah, that's
of
the one I've
hours
gone
played.
more than 5 hours on. I
Yeah.
have to be getting close with Graceful Explosion Machine because I play it like every day during lunch, and my
Yeah.
lunch break is about an hour, and
Yeah, I
so
have
I got to
about
be getting
15 on
close.
that, which is all on like the first world, like replaying levels and trying to beat your high
Yeah.
score. But
Faster RMX, I'm actually surprised I haven't hit five
I was
hours on. That's a game I know I've played a lot of.
yeah, a few of those
Yeah.
I'm sometimes a little surprised it hasn't hit over yet, but it's probably like it seems to be pretty accurate, which is
Hmm.
nice
Yeah,
because
and I'm gonna buy Mr. Shifty, and I think I'm gonna buy that Wonder Boy game today.
yeah, Wonder Boy
But
looks awesome. And there's another game coming out next week that was on the Japanese eShop. I think it's called like Kamiko or Kamaiko or something like that. And it's like an action RPG pixel 8-bit thing that looks really awesome. It's only $5. And
wield your weapon bestowed by the gods and open the gates between worlds. Kamiko is a game styled around Japanese Shinto beliefs. Fight as priestesses called Kamiko and battle against demons while solving puzzles to make your way through the stages. Look no farther if you're looking for an arcade action game with a twist.
I mean, I bought that
$5.
Othello for $5. And this
Yeah,
is definitely
so you
more
posted
value.
that like on Nintendo voice chat forums, and someone's
Yeah,
like, "You're that guy that bought Othello, huh?"
yeah. But this
Yeah.
game
So.
seems like way more value packed in that $5 punch, and that's what's kind of
Mhm.
exciting about Switch too, is that a lot of these kind of smaller games will be coming out for it, and they're just perfect to pick up for that TV and on the go experience. So
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm getting the game twice. Like, PlayStation
yeah,
dabbled in it, but it wasn't for all games. There wasn't that consistency, and even then, cross save sometimes can be a piece of crap. Like I played, what was it, Super Time Force Ultra on my Vita all the time, but getting that cross save to coherently go to the PlayStation when I would go home, like you have the syncing stuff and making sure you're connected online. But if you were playing your Vita like on a place without Wi-Fi and then it never got a chance to sync, and then you came into a place with Wi-Fi, like it was just never as uniform as the Switch is.
hmm
And so you feel like you're really buying a game twice when you buy it for the Switch. You're buying it for your home console and for your handheld.
yep,
Real quick before we get into the direct, I guess I can go ahead and say that yeah, Mr. Shifty came out since we last recorded. The description for the game says, "Shift your way through bullets and master lightning fast takedowns." In an all-new action game from Tiny Build and Team Shifty, Mr. Shifty follows a teleportation-fueled heist to break into the world's most secure facilities. It's $15. It's a one-player game, 3 gigabytes on your Switch. So if you're running out of space, if you never did grab an SD card, now would be a good time to grab it.
mm.
I'm picking that game up. It looks a lot like Hotline Miami. You said you played the first few levels, right?
Yep, and it was awesome. I was having a blast with it. Kayla was watching it, and she was enjoying it, thinking it looked really cool because it uses that kind of just, you feel awesome, like kind of secret agenty with superpowers, almost like Matrix, Neo kind
Isn't
of.
it like what's the X-Man guy? The
Yeah, I'm
He
not
like
too.
teleports,
Mhm.
What's his name? I think it is like Night Stalker or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you are
Yeah.
just you're Mr. Shifty, so you're going between walls, but then it gets nuts with like the challenge and the amount of people and enemies on screen. So that's why it was getting hit with some performance issues and some controversy because it was kind of like Payday 2, is it? I think is the game.
Yeah.
Payback. I never played those games, but supposedly the developers, there's a little bit of controversy in terms of supporting like PC over consoles. Like they'll port it to consoles, but they kind of give it to somebody else, and maybe they don't care. Put a whole bunch of passion into the port
Mm.
because the PC is the master race. But it's like this game also kind of had a little bit of that, but it was ported to given off to some other developers, and they have been posting some updates, and they said they were like very concerned about making sure the game ran as smoothly as possible because it was getting hit with some performance issues. And since there's been a patch that fixes a lot of those issues, and so I haven't even played it since the patch. I wasn't irritated by the slowdowns. I'm not typically kind of too irked by that thing unless it's really, really bad. But
Yeah.
and it's not. And this, I guess,
And you
has
said
been fixed.
Bomberman got some updates
Yep.
too, right? To make that like 60 frames per second and more smooth, and even some new levels. I thought. Like
Yeah,
I
a
heard
couple
some
new
collaborative
modes or
stuff.
something. 2 new map modes. But yeah, Bomberman, I guess, has been completely redeemed, supposedly, according to a lot of
That's what
sources.
I've heard, which is good
And
because I was considering selling it because I needed to. I'm easing away from physical games now because of just my whole tobacco with the
yeah,
physical game stuff, and I was gonna sell that game and just not rebuy it digitally. Like I was just gonna see if I can make that money back by selling it
yeah.
just
Well, it's
completely.
also gone down in price a little bit, so it's kind of losing
Yeah.
value a bit. It's $40 now at like Target, I think. But what
Mm.
I've heard is they basically slashed the resolution of it to make it go now 60 frames a second. And since it's not a super graphically intensive game, I guess a lot of people are saying that it doesn't really you can't notice the slash in resolution, but you can
Hmm.
notice just the fluidity and how much better it is at 60 frames a second
Yeah, I
and
noticed
how
quickly that it wasn't 60 frames,
yeah.
and I'm normally not someone that notices that, but just moving around it felt clunky.
hmm Yeah,
And
so
another game that I'm going to be trying to pick up today, and maybe I can give some impressions on it next week, and it just came out 5 days ago, is Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. Apparently, a shot-for-shot, frame-for-frame remake of what was it, or SNES game,
mm,
or something like that, of Wonder Boy. There's even a mode where you can have that view, and the description says it boasts a beautiful hand-drawn animations and a reorchestrated soundtrack. The cult classic returns with a unique blend of exploration, action, and adventure. And so you are this like salamander that's in a human form,
mhm.
and there's all these curses. You play as the game's classic character, Hugh Man, or as his brand new long-awaited co-star, Hugh Girl. There's also Mouse Man, Piranha Man, Lion Man, Hawk Man, and you can enjoy 3 difficulty levels catering to player types and switch from modern graphics and sound to 8-bit graphics and audio at any time, even during gameplay.
And you can do
And
the
so,
whole split screen thing where it's both at once,
yeah,
which is kind of cool.
and
I would also highly recommend going and checking out. Shout out to Happy Console Gamer. He's like a huge Wonder Boy fan, and he has a really awesome video
oh,
where they
nice,
like they
okay,
sent him this package that he unboxes with some goodies inside, and so it's a really cool,
that's cool.
awesome Wonder Boy video about
Yeah,
this.
and that is less than a gigabyte, so you should be good to go ahead and download that game. It's available for $20, and so those are our recommendations for the week. But Zach,
Mm,
the main topic of the show is the
yes.
April Direct. We have some things to talk about, lots of things that were announced. Noah Kinney apparently predicted that they were going to be bringing back the yellow Joy-Cons. He also wants us to maybe talk about E3, so we can maybe talk about that after we have the Direct stuff covered. Um, and there's lots of stuff that was announced. The Direct was advertised as primarily focusing on ARMS and Splatoon, but the Direct was 35 minutes, and I think ARMS and Splatoon got a total of 10 minutes each, so it seemed kind of misleading almost to say it was focused on those 2 games because it's like, I mean, they were heavily featured, but it wasn't focused on them by all means.
Mhm.
Lots of other announcements that have me shaking in my boots, even more so than that. And so what we're gonna do moving forward now, and you guys can join along at home if you want to rewatch the Direct, is we're gonna hit play on the Direct. We're not gonna have the audio feeding, but we're gonna have the video playing. So if you're listening to the audio version, don't worry. And we're gonna watch the Direct, and that'll kind of give us some pacing as how we're gonna talk about each thing. And as the stuff pops up on the screen, we're gonna give our thoughts on it. Obviously, it won't be our initial reactions, but just kind of reflect on some of the stuff that was announced. Maybe now we have more context to it, or have had a chance to think on it. And so we're going to give our thoughts on it, what we think of certain release dates, delays, or games that are coming out earlier than we thought, how games are looking, new modes, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yep. Sounds awesome. Sounds
And
fun.
so, yeah. And so, Zach, because we're not in the same room, we have to count this down.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and then we'll click
Okay.
and we'll watch the Direct. And so here we go. 3, 2, 1, click.
Clicked.
You got the
And
little.
we, yeah.
And they have the new they have the new intro, which I thought was super slick.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
the whole everything's popping up, the new logo.
Mhm.
It was very slick and clean. And then you have, what is it, Koizumi?
Yeah.
The new
Yashiaki
the new
Koizumi.
the new the new Iwata.
Yoshi Aki.
Yeah, he's
I
kind of
don't know how you
taken.
pronounce it.
Seems like he's taken Iwata's place even more so. He's like a hybrid of Iwata and Miyamoto because he's also, I think, designing the new Mario Odyssey, and I think even worked on some of the other Mario games.
Yeah.
We had the headlines though. I loved. Did you like this feature of the
I
headlines?
did, yeah. I liked how there was kind of you could kind of see what was coming up, but there also there was some mystery thing, so it kind of kept
Yeah.
suspense going or built suspense. And so I
Yeah,
thought that was kind of nice.
I got hyped when I saw them teasing Minecraft, but it looks like first things first. I don't remember it leading with this, but you got Hey Pikmin,
Hmm.
developed. We found out after the direct by the same people that did Yoshi's New Island.
Yeah,
So some people are not pumped about that, and you can tell that it's Yoshi's New Island's team because it looks
yeah,
a lot like that style.
it does.
It's another one of those games. And I think other people have talked about it. That's like I want this on the Switch, like
Yeah,
July 28th. I don't want to dust off my 3DS.
it's
The new
just
amiibo looks legit though.
it's just so touch based. It looks like there's no 3D features on it, which kind of makes sense because it's primarily using the bottom screen. But yeah,
Oh, then you got this petrified guy. Ever Oasis never really appealed to me. They hyped it up. It's the same developers as the people that did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3DS.
that's why I kind of like the atmospheric quality of it, but otherwise, because it just gives me that nostalgia for those games. And
Uh,
I bet there's something that's pretty captivating about this game. Like there's some things that sometimes I'm like not so sure about, but then there's other things that wow, that looks kind of pretty and cool, like to experience maybe.
the
And
thing
the
is,
interesting kind
oh,
of
go ahead.
village sim combo with going out for an adventure, it seems that they're kind of doing with it. Seemed
Yeah,
kind of interesting.
June 23rd. So once again, it's just so late into the 3DS or the Switch life cycle that it's just like,
Yeah.
especially for a game that's not Pikmin or Fire Emblem. I don't know if it's going to be one I'm going to pick up, but
Yeah.
you're right though. It does have a pretty nice atmosphere. Moving on, we have this gorgeous cinematic of Monster Hunter. This is actually a game that may bring me into the Monster Hunter universe because it seems like it's such a cool kind of entry point. Like it's not
Hmm.
connected to any other storyline. I love the art style, the kind of colorful, vibrant, kind of chibi style.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous. And so
Yeah.
I
You
may have to pick this Monster Hunter up and see if I can get familiar with some of the in-game lore to maybe dive into like a more legit, like hardcore Monster Hunter
well,
on maybe Switch.
you know what I yeah, well, Monster Hunter has sometimes come to consoles, and so that's what I was thinking. If it came to the Switch, it would be almost that Pokemon substitute for the Switch at the moment, something like that.
Yeah,
And
they've
Monster
done that
Hunter games
before.
are traditionally really complex to play. Yokai
Hmm.
Watch 2, I'm not.
Yeah, more Yokai
Yeah,
Watch. We need to get more into that. We enjoyed the show. I
yeah,
haven't played too much of the games. It's something that we're not against. We don't dislike Yokai Watch, but there's so many games to play, and we're pretty hardcore on Pokemon,
yeah.
and
There's some
so
really fun, creative, humorous things about Yokai Watch that I really enjoyed. There was some,
mhm.
as in any kind of kids thing, there's going to be some cheesy kind of sappy moments, but there were also some really awesome
Yeah,
aspects to
very
it.
Japanese though. So like you
Yeah.
have some of that Japanese, darkness to it, which I liked.
Mhm.
The cat getting hit by a car, and that's
Yeah.
the whole story of it. What was this again? Is this just the?
I totally
I
forgot
forgot
about
what this
this.
is. I don't know. Going back to Pikmin, I guess real quick. We never really closed out Pikmin discussion, but are you picking that up? Are you gonna pick up Hey
Oh yeah,
Pikmin?
totally. I think that the
Awesome.
ability to there's some more puzzly elements than like a Yoshi game
Mm-hmm.
that instead of that being more platforming, which is sometimes easier to make blandness to it. I think that Pikmin lends itself to puzzles easier, so they could
Yeah.
make some creative things.
It's nice to see Nintendo investing in that team though, and see like just giving them another chance, even though Yoshi's New Island didn't do too well.
This game seems
Art
really neat.
RGB or RG
Yeah, RPG
RPG
Maker.
Maker. I can't say it.
Like I felt to just go in and make one game and upload it, like your game on
Yeah,
this and then play some of the other people's creative things they've made. That seems pretty cool to me. I like that
made me
idea.
think they need to have a Zelda Maker if they're gonna have something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, this was actually super legit. I love. This actually looked more fun than I thought because we initially saw it, Dark Lord Bill. We initially saw it coming out in Japan, this Miitopia thing. But I love the Miis, and I have I have the max amount of Miis on my 3DS from when I played Tamagotchi, or what was it?
Yeah.
Was it Tamagotchi? Yeah, Tamagotchi
Mhm.
Live. I have like all these Miis on there, and so being able to play, this game with the entire cast of Seinfeld and Breaking Bad sounds awesome, and it looks like a pretty quality RPG.
Yeah, it actually
And I love how
does.
like the mechanics of like people fighting and talking with each other. I loved Tamagotchi Life and played that up um until Mitomo came out, and then it was kind of the Tamagotchi Life killer because it was essentially the same thing. But this seems like it'd be enough to be different from Miitomo. The only thing I'm wondering is why isn't something like this in Miitomo? Like, imagine if with Miitomo you could like revitalize a whole new, following in Miitomo if you had an RPG sort of mechanic to it. Add a Miitopia mode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Fire Emblem on Miitomo
Yeah, it
or
actually
on the mobile
seems
phones.
it could even be a total separate mobile game
Yeah,
because it's on
but you
3DS.
have your you have your Mii's or something.
Mhm.
And then this is just more Fire Emblem stuff. They're announcing DLC will be coming alongside Fire Emblem Echoes. I got my special edition pre-ordered with all this stuff. I don't think it comes with the amiibo. I need to figure out how I can get those. I still need to finish Conquest. I'm on like chapter 20 something of Conquest, and
I still need to finish Awakening.
Yeah,
but
man,
I love
I got
those games.
so deep into
They're just so
what was it?
consuming.
Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah.
Kirby's the Per Schneider from IGN always says that Kirby's the sign that a console's on its way out when you have, all the Kirby games coming. And here's the 3DS getting like 20 new Kirby games this year. None of this other stuff, like beyond just the main Kirby games, has really ever interested me. So,
yeah. Well, it's like
just-
a lesser Smash sort of thing going
Yeah,
on with
it's like-
these fighter ones that I just, I'll
I mean,
just
no
play
part of me
Smash,
is like,
but-
oh yes, I can't wait to play as like different colors of Kirby. Like it's like,
Yeah, the
no.
funniest
I'm surprised
part of
there's
this
not, like,
thing
a
was the Kirby,
sports game.
Kirby, and Kirby.
Yeah. I mean, they look fun though. I mean, weren't some of them free?
This game looks really cool. This one, I'm like, oh, this one I'd actually pick up
Yeah.
because this is like the puzzly one that actually looks kind of similar to a Box Boy kind of thing where they're taking a mechanic, an idea, and pushing it really far, almost like in a Mario versus Donkey Kong kind of style. I love these kinds of games.
Blast.
So yeah, Blowout Blast looks really cool. Wish it was coming
Should be
to
on
Switch,
the Switch though.
Yeah,
Should be on the Switch. That's the thing is all these announcements for the 3DS. Anyone that I'm lukewarm on, I probably would be incredibly excited for if it was just on the Switch. I'd be like, another game to get on my Switch.
Kirby Fighter on the Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is your realm. This is Box Boy.
Yeah, but Switch again, like it's gotta come to the Switch. I have been holding out because I was gonna get the second Box Boy after I finished the first, and I'm like, hopefully it'll come to the Switch sometime. And so I'm just
What's
waiting.
the other screen do? You've played more than me. What's the other screen do? Like, do you need the two screens for this, like you would need with Hey Pikmin, or is this
what it is that it's using the top screen to just kind of do a platforming sort of thing, and then the bottom is like menu and pause and tips.
Yeah.
Whenever you can like click a thing.
Oh, and the amiibo are so cool.
Yeah.
The custom amiibo support, and I love how they're all specific to the Kirby franchise, and I love that I've waited so long because now I can get all three of them just back to back to back.
Yeah,
and I'll have to pick those up for my 3DS.
I'm bummed it's ending with like the trilogy thing, but I guess it kind of makes sense that I don't know how far they can really push the mechanics.
They'll probably bring it back. I think it's a franchise that'll come back on the Switch. It's just that's kind of the trilogy maybe
Box
for the
Boy
3DS.
Ultimate or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. They'll come up with a new.
And they're packed with extra challenges and stuff. So.
Oh, and this was the legit part because we had these leaked when someone data mined The Legend of Zelda and found that there was perks for the Legend of Zelda game with those Link amiibo. So that's the reason I'm mostly excited for them is to unlock the Majora's Mask stuff and gear that they're going to unlock in Breath of the Wild. And then finally we got the Smash Bros amiibo, which hopefully means
so glad
we're
they did
getting
that.
some Smash Bros news
Yeah.
in the summer that correlates with their release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll get
13 new amiibo though total announced throughout this direct, and so that's great.
And now we move to ARMS.
With this piece of crap here.
Biff.
Yeah, Biff. I wasn't the biggest fan of him being this commentator here.
Yeah, I mean neither.
I wish it was just Iwata 2.0 down the corner, talking. Like, why wasn't he talking? But no, now we get a chance to breathe for a little bit.
Yeah.
With ARMS.
The thing about ARMS for me is that I think it's going to be an amazing game. I'm going to definitely pick it up like day one. But it's kind of like Splatoon to me in a way, and that was kind of maybe one of the criticisms I had with this direct is that I think Smash is really fun to watch as a spectator sport, but I don't know about ARMS and Splatoon in terms of watching necessarily as a spectator. Maybe Splatoon works, I think, a little bit better, but this,
Splatoon spectator mode looked pretty legit and
at least
like
in terms of, yeah, the spectator mode, that's why I was saying it kind of, they're trying to build it around that idea. But in terms of this, and something that we haven't experienced yet, necessarily, a lot of people, weren't at E3, haven't tried out their demonstrations. And so
mhm.
when Splatoon was first being shown to people, there was a lot of confusion about how it actually feels and plays. And
But
I feel,
everyone at E3 was leaving E3 like you guys got to just give Splatoon a chance
yeah,
because it feels so fun and
that's how I
unique.
feel. It's the same with this, where I just so badly want like a demo or to just get my hands on it and feel it for myself. Like every time I play it, it's just like, get this away from me, just give me the game and let me play because I want to know how it feels. I'm like, I always feel like I'm looking over the shoulder of whoever the fighter is and trying to figure
Yeah.
out what exactly how it feels and what's going on. Like I'm sold on it. I hear the testimonies of people, but I feel that I don't really
And
get a total idea of how
yeah,
great or bad it feels just from watching.
yeah. It has that Overwatch charm where you want to, you want fan art of each of the characters and you think like each character looks cool and they have a nice style to them.
Hmm.
They're simple to remember like Ribbon Girl, Ramen Girl, Twisty Man, Springy Man, Fat Man. Um the arms have a cool style to them like the ones on there right now one's like a blade and so you get how that's getting control. It's going to probably be a little bit quicker and a little bit sharper but maybe not have as much impact.
Hmm.
So there's that kind of Overwatch appeal to it where it's just simple to kind of grasp but maybe tougher to master.
Well, and I think that,
And
oh, sorry, go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
No,
what
no,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no, no,
say,
no.
what I was gonna say was that I think like when you're watching a Smash game, usually you're just, especially if it's an established, you watch like the Smash documentary and you find out somebody that you really enjoy to watch,
Yeah.
you get super into the match. And with this, I feel in Splatoon, when you're playing those games, you get super into the match. You get like
You can see the
involved.
turf. You can see how much is
Yeah,
covered. You can see
you get involved, you're moving your body, maybe you stand up and do a little bit of hungry boxing. And I feel like this game
yeah.
is gonna be that same way where you're like standing up and you're getting like sweaty and you're just so
You're
intense
punching your
into it.
TV.
But when I'm just sitting on my couch and just watching these people have a great time, I'm like, man, I just want to play this already. I'm
Yeah.
sold. I understand. It's like
And I
you're
wonder if
punching
once
people
we
and playing.
play it, then because like I'll see, you play Splatoon, and you realize that some of these games like Smash and Splatoon are harder than they look. You play and it's like, man, it's tough to do a Ken combo. Like he makes it look easy when he's just slashing, slashing, slashing. And so maybe some of this stuff looks like it's pretty simple. Like, oh, obviously they're just kind of flailing their arms around. But when you play it for yourself and you start to learn that precision necessary to land some of these combos,
Hmm.
maybe watching it will be cool because you'll see what they're doing with their arms and you'll kind of know, like, oh, in order to do that sort of combo, they needed to move like this, and that's cool. As we play it, it'll get more exciting. But yeah, it's very weird that they're showcasing it as much as they are without really giving us a demo because that's the thing is I never know with stuff like this. Like there's surely logistics behind the scenes, but they have a demo at these events, and I don't know in a digital age and an online age why demos like that aren't available. Just for mass consumers. Like, oh, you have
Hmm.
a Switch, you can download the demo because we have a demo designed, and it seems like it's just being wasted. But maybe they're just worried about data mining and people, only playing the demo or something, and maybe they want some sort of exclusivity to these events. Like, there's probably lots of marketing stuff behind it. But I don't know why there can't be like one, or just Ribbon Girl and Spring Man, and just have them as a couple fighters, just so we can feel what it's like, or a test fire weekend. Like this game comes out before Splatoon does. And we've already played Splatoon 2. I don't know why we can't get a chance to have a weekend with arms. Like that sounds like it'd be so fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hyped for it for that reason alone, and I do love the style. Like the style, the more they show it, the more characters they reveal, and the different
Definitely.
arms and fists they reveal. I'm growing on the name. I hate the logo because the logo doesn't seem to reflect the style of the game at all.
Hmm.
But I'm growing on the name Arms because it is really just all about flailing your arms around. Um, so that's cool.
Well,
Ramen Girl, or no, what is it? Min Min is her name.
mm, yeah.
And her dragon arm. I feel like there's gonna be a huge roster of characters that we're gonna end up seeing, and it's gonna be one of those games where they can add in more characters. Hopefully, you can scan an amiibo and get like Super Mario arms or something. That'd be kind of cool.
What I
I'm
really
with. Oh yeah, go ahead.
what I really like about it is that it has kind of a mix, I think, of look that you'd almost find on an Xbox or PlayStation 4 game, or like a third-party developer mixed with
Street
some of
Fighter. It has a
the
Street Fighter look to
yeah,
it.
but mixed with like the Nintendo charm. It feels like some of the ideas that they're taking in a lot of their newer games, Nintendo, is they're just opening up and allowing a little bit more of a free flow of ideas and styles. And
Yeah.
it shows a lot of promise, I think.
Yeah, like this looks way different than Splatoon, which looks way different than Mario Odyssey, which all look way different than Zelda.
Hmm.
But they each look beautiful in their own right, and they're all colorful and fun. Like I love that with the Switch too. That it's just all of the games are so colorful. Like
Yeah.
even the muddier, darker games have some sort of vibrancy to them, and just the way they're designed, and it makes it just like a fun thing to pick up. I have my bright red Joy Cons on the side, so it's just all in all, a fun experience. I'm someone that really likes color, so when I do some photography on the side, and I always boost saturation, probably more than I should.
Yeah, I
But
love
I forgot
colors.
that there's tag team in here too.
Who doesn't love
Um,
colors? Sonic
there are people,
colors.
yeah, well, we had that era there with thanks to Apple where everything was monochrome,
Mhm.
and then there was the date June 16th. So during around the week of E3, we're grabbing that game,
Mhm.
and then these gorgeous yellow Joy-Cons.
Yeah, that's surprisingly close to E3, I thought, and but it's really cool. It's kind of this schedule that they seem to be going on about every 2 months or so, a major AAA title, which is pretty nice.
It's
These,
later than I thought. I thought it was gonna be May.
yeah, yeah, I felt maybe late May, but and then it's kind of mid early-ish. I mean, I guess it's mid June. It's not too bad. It's not
Yeah.
like they did
No,
it late
also, we're
June.
playing Mario Kart and Minecraft. Speaking of Mario Kart, looks like we got some Mario Kart footage here. Adding just some basic features. This game comes out this week. A lot of press already have it. I'm hearing great things. People can't
Yeah.
put it down. It's Mario Kart 8 all over again with even more added features and the portability. Greg Miller's posting about it every freaking day. Andre Seegers apparently already has 2,000 points for his online character, which is, I think 9,000's the max or something. So he's
Yeah,
already
it
he's
is.
played so
I
much
believe in the
online.
mid 90s on Metacritic now,
Yeah, I
and so
mean
it's just
it's Mario Kart 8, which was the best Mario Kart, and it's Mario Kart 8 refined and improved upon and portable. It's perfect. It's gonna be the
the
best.
only complaint I've really heard so far is that people are slightly disappointed that a lot of things are unlocked at the immediate start that aren't in the traditional one. Like they enjoy having to have some sense of single player
Oh yeah,
accomplishment.
I don't
And
mind that because I've already unlocked
yeah,
everything, and I just wanna
hmm
just wanna play.
yeah.
I almost prefer that, but I get that why that would
You
be
still have
you
to
know
unlock the car parts, though, I hear.
okay. That's
Which,
nice.
yeah. But which some
Yeah,
people
that's
say.
this week though. So we'll have some thoughts, impressions of it actually next week. Then
Mhm.
moving on, we have Street Fighter, which I do think looks really fun. It's gonna be awesome to maybe play online with you and have a fighting game that's a
Yeah.
little more modern because we have the Neo Geo games, but this is actually like a refined, like expert crafted
Yeah.
fighting game.
I've
Got
been
the first
skipping
person.
the fighting games on the Neo Geo except for King of Fighters 98, which is supposed to be really fun, single player sort of thing. But otherwise, since we can't play those online, I've just been waiting for Street Fighter or Smash, pretty much.
And Street Fighter has that same thing that kind of Wonder Boy has going for it, where it has the 8-bit or pixel style,
Yeah.
but also a modern kind of hand-drawn thing. And then this, I freaking lost my mind when I saw that the thumbnail there had Mario in it, and I'm like, they better show the Mario stuff. They better show the Mario stuff with Minecraft. Sorry for the audio listeners, they didn't realize it was Minecraft. They announced that Minecraft is coming to the Super Mario edition of Minecraft is coming for the Switch, and I think it was kind of a given, but at the same time, I didn't know if that was like an exclusive Wii U deal, and I didn't know what was going on with Minecraft anymore. I mean, we knew that it was coming out this year, but we never got a release date. It seemed like it was going to be a weird thing that was going to be pushed to the fall because it took several years for it to come to the Wii U, but we're getting it on the Switch with all of the Mario levels, which I don't know if you've looked into those themes.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
of the Mario
incredible. I'm
stuff.
excited to
But
go and finally really get all explore it all and see
I
all
think
the
I'm
little
gonna do a
secrets.
Let's Play series of exploring the Mushroom Kingdom in Minecraft, and then eventually blowing the entire thing up is my
I'll have
goal.
to maybe join you on some of those if I can like
Yeah,
join your
that'd be.
server.
Oh yeah, we could
server.
easily do that because then we can just have our Skype do the Let's Play capture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and May 11th for Minecraft, and so that's way sooner than I thought. And so with that, with Mario Kart, and then Street Fighter later in the month, and then ARMS, and then leading into Splatoon 2, it's a perfect year. Ending out with Sonic, it seems. We got some new footage here, actually, of classic Sonic being played, exclusive to the Nintendo Direct that hadn't been seen anywhere else. Otherwise, all this other footage had been seen before with Sonic Forces is the name. I think the first time they've revealed the name tied to Nintendo, but we knew it was Forces from other reveals and things like that. Yeah, this is the exclusive footage here, though. Looks like the Green Hill Zone for the audio listeners. They're kind of showing that.
Yeah.
Pretty much Sonic Generations 2, which is everything I'd ever want out of a Sonic game. Between this and Sonic Mania, I'm so hyped for Sonic this year. And I got my limited edition pre-ordered for the Switch.
Yeah. Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. And but Sonic Forces, there has been some comparisons of Sonic Generations compared, and people wondering why doesn't it look quite as nice? But it's still in development, so we'll see.
Yeah. I thought it looks great, but
the 3D areas did, but the 2D slash 2.5D looked there's not as much going on as in Generations if you do an actual like looking at between the two.
Maybe they wanted to pull back a little bit more to make it look a little bit more retro. I don't know.
That might be, but it's still in development too, so we'll see it as it goes. I mean, Sonic Generations when it was first revealed, I mean they improved on it as they kept going. So this game looks really
cool. The nature of these games. Yeah, this is what Metroid Federation Force here. We got some puzzle games that they announced.
The
as
better
well.
Metroid Federation Force.
Yeah. I gotta be conscious of audio listeners because I feel bad that we're like, oh yeah, this game looks fun.
Yeah.
But Project Makuro, if you guys saw that in the direct, looks like a fun just puzzle game. These games that us diehard Switch fans are just gonna buy because we want more games for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that game looks like it should maybe be free or something, but I'm not totally sure how much is involved with it.
Seems like such a subtle insult. Like that game looks like it should be free.
Well, basically you're going
Just
around
give
and
it
butt pounding, and
it's a courtesy for me to be playing this game. Yeah, Fate, whatever. Okay. Oh, and then we got Disgaea 5 news. I believe we already had a release date for the game. I honestly am probably gonna be picking up the Japanese version when I eventually do get it.
Yeah.
Because it's has English audio and subtitles, and apparently has more content. Like they cut out gore and other things from the game, and other cutscenes and mechanics from the game to localize it for America, make it a little more American friendly. And I don't want anything cut. If I'm gonna be paying the same price for the game, I want the same experience, and so I'll probably be picking that up whenever I darn well please from the Japanese store, and then just using my American account with it. We got some more info here on Puyo Puyo Tetris, which I'm still curious about this game because I love Tetris, but I don't know what is exactly happening with Puyo Puyo. Like, I don't know what the Puyo Puyo part of it is.
Have you been playing the
demo? It seems like it'll be a game that's going to be fun to play with you.
Yeah. It's
play online.
Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, basically. And yeah, it's interesting. You have to have a little bit more strategy, I'd say, involved with it and thinking ahead maybe than Tetris.
Okay.
But it's really fun, and it's cool how they mash it up. You really should check out the demo because basically the demo is just the complete game.
Oh, yeah, there is a demo.
The demo is really awesome because you can play the two players. So, like, you and Michaela could play, and it's basically just you can play because it's however good you each are at playing, and so you can have unlimited competition between you for free. And so,
yeah,
but I hear
awesome.
that there's...
I didn't realize there was a demo for it.
Yeah, and there's a big poll to play.
Oh, it's from the Direct that they announced it. I must have missed that. I was probably still, like, tweeting out and cheering for Minecraft because I was so looking forward to Minecraft on Switch and did not realize...
But I hear that there's a huge pull to it because there's extra modes, and those modes are really awesome. So it's worth getting the full thing, but there's a lot of punch packed in that little demo.
And when was Puyo Puyo coming out? Isn't that like the start of May?
I think it's out here just in a few days actually, but
what? I'll have to look on the Switch.
Maybe tomorrow, but
I'll have to do a check on that. Monopoly coming in the fall in case you've never played Monopoly before.
I thought that looked cool for just, family get-togethers maybe.
Yeah. Rayman Legends, which has been come out on about 20 different platforms, is also coming out to the Switch. Maybe I'll finally pick it up.
I'm
Looks like a
definitely
fun
picking
game.
it up. Yeah. This is I think my final this is when I'm gonna finally get into Rayman because it's kind of been neglected and it just looks fun. And like I love platformers and it looks really beautiful and like this might be the definitive one to get, you know. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely picking this one up when I get the chance.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point, and that's available this year. So probably like that's. I think developers are learning that with the Switch. Like people that missed out on some of the games on the Wii U and maybe never picked them up on PlayStation. This is a good chance for it to shine. And while a lot of people are kind of upset that the Switch is almost like a Wii U port machine throughout 2017, for me, like I never picked up the Mario edition of Minecraft. I never picked up, Rayman Legends or what was the other game that was like a pretty big port? I forgot what it was. Gosh, I know there was like a couple ports that came out. Some of these indie games, like World of Goo and Human Resource Machine
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Little Inferno, like all of those I never got on the Wii or the Wii U, and so a lot of those kind of games has been the time to shine with the Switch, and so
Yeah. And
getting
these
that,
two games look really neat. That we just missed the I think Sinamura or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce
yeah,
it exactly, but it's a shoot 'em up game that looks really cool.
mm-hmm.
Um, and then this is Payday 2, which
Yeah, Payday
people
2's up
people
next
say
in
to
the
be
direct.
very skeptical of because of just how it often runs on console performances. But pretty big move, I thought, for Nintendo to have this on their direct. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
Payday 2 always looked like the Payday games always looked like a fun time. There's a Walking Dead game coming out from the Payday team that sounds like it'd be really fun. I don't know when that's coming out. That was announced
I love
like
the headline
years
that was like
ago.
rob the banks with your friends. It's like
Right
Nintendo.
alongside,
Yeah.
Mario it's digging for gold or something. We have some classic games. I believe this is the Namco Museum that's being announced now on the Nintendo Direct. Going the Neo Geo route where it's like, hey, let's make money off people by selling our old games because they want games on the Switch, and people like us are like, yeah, let's get them because we want to play Pac-Man on our Switch. And so Namco Museum's coming out, basically like an NES remix of sorts,
Yeah. Looks really cool.
coming out. So if you like Namco games, that's for you.
Had it
Got some
on
information.
PlayStation way back in the day. It was really fun.
We got information that the Nintendo Switch dock is going to be available on May 19th. I think even cheaper than what it was initially being sold for.
That'd be
Hopefully
cool.
fixing some issues with scratching up the screen and warping and all of that. And then also a quick update from what we were talking about before. Monday is when, or no, Tuesday is when Puyo Puyo Tetris comes out, April 25th.
Oh, cool.
So a couple
Awesome.
days from now. So we got that and Mario Kart 8 this week. So that's an awesome week. Puyo Puyo Tetris is $30. Yeah.
I
And
might
then
keep
now
the
we
demo a
have,
little bit longer on that one.
yeah, actually, real quick while we're talking, download demo. Demo is downloading. Yeah, I love the Switch.
I loved them Inklings dancing in that.
I just looked up and saw that. Oh man! So now we're getting to the Splatoon portion of the show. For those of you that don't know, Zach and I are pretty huge Splatoon fans. I even have a Splatoon lore video that I worked on, and would hopefully one day develop into a series of Splatoon lore videos. That's how diehard we are. We love digging into the series, the style, everything about it. We'll probably do lots of live streams of Splatoon 2 once it comes out. And we
Um,
have this wonderful intro video to the portion where it's like this old school VHS thing, which the Splatoon team is constantly trolling us with their, we just got back from the Squid Laboratory. We got some research coming in.
yeah, I love the happy
Man.
smiley face of the Inkling girl here. She
Yeah.
usually has her profile picture and stuff.
Yeah, and they
Um,
got basically announcing that the Salmon Run feature, which is essentially a horde mode for Splatoon 2, which is awesome because I was always kind of looking for ways to play cooperatively with Splatoon 1 without maybe necessarily going into the battle dojo or online. And so this seems like a way to play cooperatively and just survive waves and waves of enemies while also getting, seems like, coins to maybe buy new gear for the
mhm.
competitive mode. And so seems like a really cool thing, the cool style, and I'm very curious about the lore of it because these salmon creatures that are coming in from the gunk seem like a new enemy beyond the Octarians, and so For those of you that don't know, in Splatoon 1, Octarians and the Squidling or the Inklings were at war with each other for perhaps even thousands of years. And so now we have a whole new enemy, and they have a cool style to them. And Splatoon does this thing where like each piece of gear and all of that seems to have a history and a development to it, and a company that made it. And each of those companies has like their own style and brand and history. There's lots of depth to all of it, it seems. And so this level, though, was a little brown and muddy for my taste. Maybe it'll look more bright and vibrant once you color it up with your ink. But the level they showed there was like some sort of like oil leaf factory sort of thing. And so it didn't look too good. In the chat, I believe we had someone say, user, it's time to stop, said, who's excited for Splatoon 2? And they also said that Mario Kart 8 needs more tracks. Chariot Goblin hopped into the chat and said, hey, Pikmin will add more to the Pikmin lore. He also said the Monster Hunter devs need to take a note out of Breath of the Wild. Chariot Goblin also says they're probably the only one excited for Kirby's 25th anniversary, and that they're also very mixed on ARMS. And Noah Kinney had to head out, but they said they'll be back to watch the show archived, which you guys can watch archived if you're watching live here on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, or you can listen to the whole audio version over on Koppai Podcasts' SoundCloud. So we have Steelhead here in the Splatoon footage. Kind of looks like the enemy. And as we mentioned, it's sort of a horde mode going on here. Zach, what are your thoughts on the new mode, Salmon Run?
I think they've done an amazing job at it. I think everything looks really well thought out and well put together. I imagine they had a blast testing this out. I bet they just were, playing match after match and making sure it all worked well. And it just really shows that I think there's just a perfectionism to it that I'm super excited for Splatoon 2 in this mode. I think everything looks incredible. It's that they even thought to add something like this is awesome, because those spawn wave sort of modes of like zombie hordes and stuff, those are all awesome. I love those in shooter games, in like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. So it's totally welcome here. I think they've done an awesome job. And I don't know what else much to say.
It's nice to have more cooperative stuff. As we were saying earlier, like a lot of the other game modes were competitive nature, like Capture the Flag and Rainmaker and Turf Wars. But then also just I think there's a few different modes that where it's all based around competing, which is fun, but it's sometimes nice. Like I love horde survival mode games where you can just go and just survive and kind of mindlessly like turn on a podcast or turn on some music and just chat with your friends and play. And this seems to accomplish that. And it's one of those game things that also they have this system in place now of AI and this kind of lore mechanic built into the game of these enemies just attacking you on one singular platform. And so they can maybe change that now, where with this one you're kind of depositing the eggs that you collect into that basket, but they can maybe evolve that into something else in the future. And we got announcements that they're bringing more amiibo to Splatoon 2, in case you didn't have enough Inklings and Squids on your shelf. Now they have these ones with the splat doolies and the new hairstyles. And it seems as though the only thing that the amiibo do now is save your gear. So when you go to someone else's place or you grab another Switch, you can transfer your gear set over with the use of your amiibo. And I believe the old amiibo work as well, including, Callie and Marie and all the other Inklings, the other boys and girls and stuff like that. So really exciting. Still very bummed out that you can't scan in like a Mario amiibo and get, overalls and a Mario cap or something like that. Seems like that'd be something that they would do. You look at Mario Kart and how you can do that. I just noticed
they're doing it with something like Rayman. What?
Rayman. What? Oh yeah,
no,
Rayman
they're
Legends.
doing they do the costumes and stuff like Monster Hunter and Rayman. That's just something major like Splatoon 2, you'd think. But
I wonder if there's like some sort of they very much so care about the style in the game and the, as I was saying earlier, the lore with everything. You wonder if they just don't have a place for freaking overalls in the game.
Right?
Can't have Link's cap with your guy, or they're maybe worried that everyone just be running around wearing a big pink Kirby outfit or something like that in the game. But that concluded everything they talked about with Splatoon. They had the new amiibo. The new game mode was the primary focus of Splatoon 2. And then the release date, which I believe was July 23rd, was that what it was?
Oh
Or
yeah,
they not announced it yet? Oh, July 21st.
yeah, they pushed it up a little bit, which is really awesome. So that's not even really the whole 2 months after.
Yeah, it's only like a month after ARMS.
Yeah, so that's awesome. That's
So we'll
really
probably get
cool.
lots of more details about that at E3. Splatoon 2 will
ARMS
probably be the
was
main focus.
a little bit later than I maybe thought, and then Splatoon 2 was a little bit earlier than I thought. So
Hmm.
it was overall, I thought, an awesome direct. It just we need more of those games need to come to Switch instead of 3DS is my kind of takeaway. Kind of criticism of the beginning part is that a lot of those games I think fit well on the Switch and would work just fine, and it's kind of strange that we're not getting them at least on both platforms.
Hmm.
So, but yeah,
Yeah, sorry,
we also didn't
accidentally
touch
played the intro there real quick, so some people may have heard a little noise there, but
we
um,
didn't touch on the battery pack they added to the Joy Cons, but I thought those were kind of redundant. I was a little bit like,
yeah,
why are you
I
not
never had my battery
addressing
die.
the the first of all the antenna thing? I was like, maybe you could give like a signal booster or something for those left Joy Cons because
Yeah,
a couple times I've had that syncing issue even lately, and or the battery life of just the unit itself. The Joy Cons. I guess it makes sense for ARMS is what they were kind of going for those people that just play a lot of ARMS and then set them down and don't think to
yeah, and
charge
I
them.
I bet part of it's also just they maybe want more grip to it, you know.
Yeah, it's a good.
And they're like, hey, why don't we just put a couple AA batteries in here as well?
Yeah.
Real quick though, going through, here's all the announcements, just quick rapid fire. We touched on most of them, but all the announcements for the Nintendo Switch include the standalone Switch dock is coming to North America on the 19th of May. Splatoon 2 arrives on July 21st with new amiibo and the Salmon Run mode showed off. ARMS will launch on June 16th as well, and there's also the new details. We're getting those yellow Joy-Cons. I'll be grabbing them because I want every single color of the Joy-Cons possible. And I spend way too much money on my Switch and accessories. And the AA pack to add extra life to the Joy-Cons is coming out, which Zach just touched on. It seemed kind of redundant. Payday 2 gets a surprise Nintendo Switch reveal, and the game honestly doesn't look too good. Be sure to wait for reviews on that one. Fate/Extella, the Umbral Star, is coming to the Switch on the 21st or 25th of July in Europe and North America. Senran Kaguru game gets a bizarre teaser for the Nintendo Switch. Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition arrives on the eShop in May, I believe on the 11th. Namco Museum is coming to Nintendo Switch this summer. Nintendo also showed a snippet of 2D game from Sonic Forces, which we touched on, and maybe doesn't look as good as the other generation's game. The Switch exclusive Rayman Legends Definitive Edition features were outlined. Sign More EX and Battle Chasers Night War were confirmed for the Switch. I think those are the games that you were kind of saying looked a little cool, but were brushed over quickly. Project Makuro is a quirky first-party multiplayer game coming to the Switch. That's the one that you kind of butt pound on certain things, and it looks like Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Yep.
And Ubisoft is bringing Monopoly to the Switch with HD Rumble for rolling the dice. And then for the 3DS, Hey Pikmin will launch with new amiibo on the 28th of July. So that's actually a nice break in between ARMS and Splatoon. No, wait, no, that's July. Never mind. That's after Splatoon 2. I'm not picking that up.
Just after Splatoon 2. Interesting.
Yeah, like a week after. Ever Oasis will be on the 23rd of June, so maybe if you were looking for a game between ARMS and Splatoon, that's your choice. A trio of Kirby titles was confirmed for the 3DS to celebrate his 25th anniversary. Monster Hunter Stories is coming to the West. It was already released in Japan and had a few amiibo with it. Miitopia is coming to the West as well. RPG Maker Fest gets a June release date. Bye Bye Box Boy arrives on the eShop, and there's also a demo for all three versions. Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Spectres arrives in North America, and Dr. Kawashima's Devilish Brain Training finally gets a European release date. So this is from Nintendo Life, which I don't know if they're Europe-based or not, but there are some European dates thrown in there. And so that's all of the announcements. Hype.
Yes, hype indeed. The one game, that Project Makuro, I think it was, I was thinking, I remember when we watched the Direct, I had this thought that was kind of what I was thinking in mind of a Splatoon sort of mobile title they should do. Because basically the idea was that you butt pound and you cover as much, whoever covers the most turf by the end wins. And it's a very just like super simple mechanic. I think they could easily translate it to something of using paint or something where you just splatter the area and then walk over to another area, and then you're constantly, and whoever somehow strategically does it better wins in a simple, super basic freebie kind of mobile title kind of game. That's why I made that comment that it seems kind of like a free game, but and Nintendo is kind of they do that sometimes. Like we'll see
Yeah.
their super simple games like the Crane game or whatever it is.
Mhm.
They'll do those free games and obviously with their mobile titles. So yeah, I still really want a Splatoon mobile companion to Splatoon 2 or the Splatoon
Even like a
franchise.
gear, like sort through gear and stuff like that. I'm not too sure what you could do, but
Yeah, like
maybe
one of
look
those
through and
Destiny apps or something.
yeah, man, Destiny. Talk about a game I've been playing lots of. Whoo-wee. I've been putting tons of hours into Destiny. You need to get on that. But yeah, and they have apps for that where you can like completely move gear from your vault and inventory into your another character, like just with the app. You know, train things like that. Star Wars Battlefront had a whole thing where you could like earn credit for your character. Lots of companion apps out there nowadays, and Nintendo's doing very well in the mobile market, I think. And so it would be nice to see things like that. A quick reminder that Puyo Puyo Tetris comes out on Tuesday, and then Kamiko comes out on Thursday. Mario Kart 8 comes out on Friday, and then we have a lot of games coming out in the month of May. So be saving up your money. Look through the Nintendo eShop and start picking out what games you want to be picking up. I'll be picking up Mr. Shifty and Wonder Boy and be talking about my thoughts on those maybe next week along with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I think that's all we have. That's all the scoops we got for you today.
Yeah, scoop.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Sam.
Let's bring it
Get it?
home.
Let's bring it home. No, all right. That's all we have. We'll be back next week with episode 56, talking about rumors and news and everything Nintendo. But until next time, that was a good episode.
Yes, it was. Our
I like
best
that.
episode yet.
Always and forever. Got a
And
few
now,
viewers in there, too.
back to those footnotes.
Oh yeah, you gotta go back and make a paper. I gotta get a presentation ready for tomorrow.
Hmm.
But I'm starting to wind up. I got my final done in my advertising class. I need to write my paper for my science class. And then tomorrow's my final for my photography class.
Mm.
So all my finals are like spread out. So I'm really wrapping things up here.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Which is
final, it's like
nice.
dead week for me now, officially. Or it's supposed to be that sort of dead week where nothing's supposed to be really scheduled or due. I don't know if that's common around like there where you have like a
No,
week.
North Central does not care
Yeah.
about any sort of routine. Like I said, I have my final due tomorrow. My advertising final was on Wednesday last week, and my final paper is due Friday for science. I have another paper due Friday for one of my history classes, and then I have 2 minor tests next week, and then I go full time at my job for the summer.
Nice.
So, yeah, and that'll be nice because I'll start pulling in a lot more money with that, just in time for all these new amiibo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
spend my
Well,
money on. I'm running out of shelf space though.
I know.
I need to start. I need to start buying those things they do where it's like the wooden blocks that the people have cut out little holes in. You can set the amiibo down inside the holes, so it makes them all staggered and a little propped up and clean.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. They're like $30 for like just like one shelf full.
Mm.
So, but
Yeah, I've just started putting my things kind of away. Just because I like having them, but I have like a gaming drawer, and I've just been trying to minimalize, I guess, put out things that
yeah,
I really want to have out on display and put away some of the things that maybe can be put away for now. For a while, I
yeah.
was just like displaying everything, and now I'm like kind of cutting back a bit. But I don't want to get
I gotta
rid
go
of
watch
anything.
some Destiny videos and get ready. I'm doing a raid on Tuesday night. Got my group all scheduled. We got 6 people in the queue. We're gonna do Crota's End. It's gonna be so fun. I found this website where you can schedule in advance.
Huh.
So like you go and like I did 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. I put running full fresh Crota's End as the weekly feature raid. We'll do challenges for those tasty exotics. Please have completed Crota Zen before and at least know how to complete the challenges. Chill is better than skill, but please have skill. And I got 5 people joined. And I looked. You can look at people's statistics because it tracks your information whenever you play Destiny. So you can learn how many hours you've played. You can learn how many enemies you've killed and all of that. And I looked up all the information for each of the people in my group. And they've all played like at least 500 hours each.
Wow.
So
it's crazy.
I got some good people on my team. So I'm excited for it to hopefully be an easy run on Tuesday. Because I had some crap groups this past week with another raid. And they just did not know what they were doing. This one guy had like... We were getting red bar disconnected the whole time, and we're like, what is happening? Like, a Destiny server is just not working? And he's like, sorry, my brother's upstairs, like, live streaming. And we're like, what? Like, no. And so we told him to go reset his router. And when he went and reset his router, we kicked him from the group. He came back and was like, couldn't log onto our group. And we're like, sorry, man, we're done for the night. And then we beat it with some other person, so. But... yeah, so if he listens to this, he'll be like, what? That was him? This Nintendo host? Yeah.
All right, well, I got to head off.
Well, yeah, you got to do your paper. I got to go plug my Switch in because it has 3% left, and I want to download this Puyo Puyo Tetris demo. So
Yeah, awesome. All right.
Next time, Koppai!
Koppai, bye. I'm back.